Welcome. I'm John Canopener.
And I'm James Wang.
And together we are Rock Hard. And today we took a gander at Scream 1 and Scream 3.
Hell yeah.
Because we think these two hold importance for Scream 7.
Mm-hmm.
7 being the third movie in this, let's call it the new trilogy, 5, 6, and 7. If we're following Randy's logic for a trilogy, there's all bets are off in this. And there's something that happened in the beginning that we thought was true that was going to turn out to be false. That's the main reason we're looking at that. And y'all know Roman Bridger's coming back in some way, in some form.
Yeah. Which I kind of forgot, I'm not going to lie.
And then, if Roman controlled everything that was going on in Scream 1 by pushing Billy in that direction, then we thought we would watch Scream 1 too to see how that played out. And I only found one thing in Scream 1 that looked like it might, maybe another character that we overlooked that might have something to do with something, but it's really far-fetched and we'll get there. Mm-hmm. But we started with Scream 3. Okay, if you guys don't know, there's a lot of other people that have this theory too, but we really strongly believe that Detective Kincaid is a fucking killer.
Yeah, I think we've already did a video about this. I
think we've done a few.
But I remember a specific dedicated Scream 7 theory video. It was almost, I want to say a year ago. I could be wrong, but it just feels like a long time ago.
There's a lot of shit pointed at this guy.
But yeah.
And I know he was probably, meant to be that red herring in the movie, but I think it's a little more than that. We think, this is our big thing. We think Detective Kincaid was working with Roman, and in the third act, when Mark gets to the house, mm-hmm. and Sydney's about to get attacked by Ghostface, who's right behind her, Mark jumps in the way. In that time, though, right before, he looks like he's about to reveal some shit.
Yeah, because he kind of has that look on his face, you
can trust me, I'm a cop,
Yeah.
And he just shows up, at the end, nobody knows where the fuck he's been. He's always disappearing at random times. God damn it. Sorry, some asshole.
Fucking hate our neighbors.
Yeah. But anyway, we think that he was a killer and was going along with Roman's plan and was a part of it, but had to change of heart right at that moment. And we just never knew about it. And then he took on Roman and caught him for a surprise. And then Roman knew it was just left to him, so he kind of just took over the rest of the movie. And then he just looked innocent and couldn't wait to kill Roman so he could shut the fuck up. Anyway, that's our thing. But there's a lot of similarities, we think, with Scream 3. They're gonna complement each other very well. One, in Scream 3, we had this voice changer that we never saw again, to where it had everybody's voice. Had Dewey's voice, had Sydney's voice, had everybody's voice. Even Maureen Prescott somehow had everybody's voice.
Yeah, for some reason.
Everybody's voice is on here. Don't think about it. They just have it. And we never used it again. And then we all know in Scream 7 that deepfake technology is going to be used at least.
Or
some AI shit.
In some shape or form, yeah.
Right, and I think that's how we're going to get all these characters back. I also had a new theory. Since Sydney's a mom now, and she has a daughter that's, I guess, 17 already. I don't know. It could be mirroring the events of Scream 1. So this could, what could happen? Before I get ahead of myself, this could be a retelling of that story with Sydney being Maureen Prescott. Mm-hmm. Maybe something's going to get exposed on her part that she did something kind of like Maureen Prescott, but it's going to be bullshit because it's AI and, deepfake and stuff. Some Sora shit. And then, what if Sydney does die in this one and Sydney's daughter gets to carry on in 8?
That would be kind of crazy.
You know what I mean? And then it's the little Scream song or whatever. And now it's her turn. So I was saying that maybe Maureen or Sydney could be the new Maureen in some way. They could be. We can be going back that far to where shit we haven't even seen. I'm hoping we get flashback scenes and all kinds of shit like that, but who knows? If you guys are doing math right, the original Scream came out in 1996. Mm-hmm. This new one's coming out February 27th
of 2026.
I think it's 27th. Yeah. It's coming out in 2026 next year. That's 30 years. Another weird little coinky dink that in Scream 3, Roman Bridger was about to turn 30. Just saying. Just saying. It's also revealed that Roman had 3 scripts written, and nobody really knew the ending that they were going with. So there's other scripts out there. So what if there was a whole nother movie out there with the other killer that didn't get caught? Dun dun dun.
That's what I was thinking about with like the third act with like Mark and Roman there, and then how Mark kind of changed his mind at the last minute.
Maybe that was another script.
That's what I was thinking. I was like, what if the script that he thought he was following was like Sydney was not gonna get hurt, but then Roman probably like changed his mind at the last minute, and he's like, "Oh, you motherfucker!" And then he tries like, you said you were gonna hurt Sydney or whatever.
Yeah.
He's probably like he's super in love with this chick.
Yeah, Kincaid loves her, and they're throwing us off because Sydney in this one is married to a Mark. His name is Mark Evans, and he is a cop. Oh, weird.
Oh, wow, yeah.
We all assumed in Scream 5 that it was Mark Kincaid, and we thought that she was with Mark Kincaid. I mean, that was, that's who it is. And apparently, there's a paid dispute. They wanted Patrick Dempsey back, but he wouldn't come back because they weren't paying him enough, which I just don't buy, okay? They're pulling one on us. So basically, Mark Kincaid, our original Mark from Scream 3, is coming back to fill that void that he's always wanted with Sydney. This Mark is getting the fuck out of the picture, and he's going to make sure of it. Voila. There's only room for one Mark. He says something similar in here, too, when he's talking to his partner. They're talking about how these things usually go, and he's like, yeah, usually in the horror movies, this is, one cop makes it, and he's like, what about the other one? And he's like, and one doesn't. Like, one makes it, one doesn't. Usually. So there's only room for one cop in here, and that's Mark Kincaid. Boom.
Dun dun dun.
Let me look here. What else have we got? Oh, yeah, that whole weird thing to where nobody can get a hold of Sydney. Nobody has Sydney's number. Nobody knows where she is. The only person that has her number is like her dad and Dewey.
Yeah.
That's it. And it's so strange that in this part in the movie where Roman's getting questioned, he gets taken away, and Mark is like, oh, my battery died in my cell or whatever. He's like, Dewey, you got a phone I can borrow? Let me see that real quick.
Let me see that.
And Dewey's just like, here. And then he gives it to him, and he's like, thank you, and walks away to go make a call. The very next scene, Sydney gets a call. Who got that number?
Someone had to.
You look through, Dewey, they even mention it later. Gail was talking. Mark, Sydney, Gail, and Dewey were all in Mark's office, and they were talking about like who had the number. And yeah, even Gail was like, "Is it in your memory?" And he's all, she's like, "No, your phone memory, dumbass." And Dewey's like, "Oh yeah, it is." And then he even calls him out, like, "I let you use my phone."
Yeah. He's like, "Wait, I'm a cop here." Whoa.
How else could you get this fucking number if that's not it? You know what I mean? Anyway. And then we get to the scene where they're at Jennifer's house. They're at Jennifer's house. They're all scared. The movie's called off, and everybody's just getting fucked up and, reading the script, and they're saying all this crazy shit. They talk about scene 34, Maureen's murder flashback. Are we getting a flashback in Scream 7? I keep on thinking that we are. We might actually see Maureen's murder. And then there's a Prescott house flashback. So maybe we'll see, Billy leaving with fucking Cotton's jacket on. Anyway, at this house too, shit gets crazy, lights go out, everything like that, and there's a fax machine sending a message. Ghostface is fucking with him through a fax machine, and he's explaining it like a script, like this is going to happen next, and this is going to happen next, and they keep going back and forth. The only thing is, if there's only one Ghostface, that Ghostface is out here running around.
He killed Stone,
and he's running around the house somewhere. He's all over the place because he shows up at the end and whatever, and they try, he's behind the car, and Dewey tries shooting him and stuff. So Roman's fucking busy if that's Roman. Back in 2000, you needed a fax to send a fax. So how in the fuck is he sending a fax if he's out there going stabby stabby? There's 2 killers in here, people.
There has to be.
There's 2 fucking killers. And Smart Kincaid.
Yeah.
Well, like I said, Randy's trilogy rules. Something that we thought to be true turns out not to be later on. And I think a big one is just me tossing some shit out there. Stu didn't kill anybody. I think Billy did all the killing, and Stu is innocent in that regard. He didn't really kill anybody. He was a victim of peer pressure from Billy
It's far
and
too
Roman.
sensitive.
Yeah, because he was far too sensitive. Stu was sensitive and easy to manipulate. So that motherfucker did his time and got out because they pulled some evidence out and were like, it all points to Billy. Nothing of this points to Stu. He was a victim, blah, 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 blah. I should have mentioned this earlier, too. I highly suspect that Stu is alive, but I don't think he's going to be a killer. I think he's going to be a victim, and I think this is how you do it. If he gets out of jail and then shit starts going crazy with Ghostface and he needs someone to blame, there's your fall guy, just like Roman was talking about. You think he's the only one that he told that to? He probably told it to Mark, too.
You have a fall guy.
And Mark's been planning this forever, Mark Kincaid. And that's his fall guy. And then we get Stu back as a victim on the Scooby-Doo mission with Sydney. She's going to have to believe him. She's going to have to, and that's going to be tough for Sydney to fucking take in, you know what I mean? But he's like, please believe me. Like, I can't go to jail again. Like, someone is framing me and no one's going to believe me. I need you to help me. Wow. How crazy. And then we get Stu for, you know, maybe half the movie or whatever. And if it all works out, maybe we get him in the eighth one. And it could be Kincaid pulling the strings. Framing all the way through. This name, Rita Reynolds, that was Maureen Prescott's stage name. And I'm thinking that might come into play later. McKenna Grace isn't named in the cast, and I find that weird. So if her name pops up as Reynolds, there's something there. Let me tell you. Sydney gets attacked on the set. That looks like Woodsboro. She gets attacked, and at the end, Dewey rushes in, and like 2 guards and 1 detective.
One of the detectives.
Yeah. And not Mark, though. Not Mark. Everybody comes in first. And then after they go investigate, then here comes Mark, breathing hard, running in like, what happened? You know what happened, bitch. You just chased her all around this motherfucker.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's all important. It's all important. It's all pointing to Mark here, people.
Dad's really hard not to. Yeah, that's why I was like telling him earlier. I was like, is this watching Scream 3 with like the mentality of like, just think about Mark Kincaid as the killer, and it just looks like it, you know?
Yeah.
It just seems, especially because like, if you rewatch like Scream 1 and you already know that Billy and Stu are the killers, you just fucking pick up on this shit that they were doing the whole movie, you know? Like whether it's like subtle looks or whatever that he gives them, or something that Billy says to Stu, like, you know, like some random looks he gives them or whatever. Like it's very obvious. And now just watching Scream 3 with that mentality of, oh, Mark Kincaid's the killer. Everything that we just have is like, goddamn.
It's pointing to him, people.
It's really pointing.
Kincaid is also a movie fan. A big movie guy. You get this moment with him and Sydney to where he's talking about how much they have in common. It's kind of him like, you know, trying to say like, hey, we're not so different. Maybe we should fuck, you know?
I'm mysterious too.
But their big connection is he's a homicide detective and she's been through a lot of homicide. She's seen a lot of death herself. So they both have this connection with seeing death everywhere. So he thinks they got some connection with that. So you see that, and it's just weird. He said Hollywood is death to him. It just means death.
So dark.
In the third act, Ghostface is fucking everywhere. And I know there's little secret passageways and shit like that, but dude, he's popping up left and right. There's got to be 2 killers. There has to be 2 killers. Roman also mentioned something along the lines of what you hear Dewey saying in Scream 7.
Oh, yeah.
With him saying, when you're friends with Sydney, you die. Dewey in the Scream 7 trailer says something along the lines of everyone around you dies or whatever. It's very similar.
All right, check it out.
Right here. And we've already seen the Woodsboro book, the Woodsboro murders, the
like
one that
in the
Gail
beginning
wrote.
of the trailer.
Yeah, you see it in here too, but it's connective tissue for a few movies. And right at the end, this is what kind of seals the deal. Roman's movie, let's say, is over now. Roman wanted to make his big movie. Okay. At the end, Gail, Dewey, Sydney, and Mark are all at Sydney's pad. And Mark's like, Sydney, are you coming? We're going to watch a movie.
holding a bowl of popcorn with a broken arm. Like,
Although he doesn't say we're gonna watch a movie, he says we're gonna start a movie.
hey, babe.
And but when she's looking, like he looks a little off. It almost looks like a dream or something. And maybe that's what it's supposed to look like. I don't know.
Or it's like, yeah, like a happy ending kind of dream.
But he says we're gonna start a movie. Maybe we're starting Mark's movie. Maybe
Yeah.
Roman's movie is over, and Mark, being the film fan that he is gonna make his movie. But he's gonna take his time.
And I like how they just drop it. You know, that's something like it's like it just seems like something so random that if they just like would have taken that little part out, we would not have known that. But it was just like very quick when they were in his office and then Sydney just looked at the posters and stuff. And he's like, "Oh, you like movies?"
You like movies?
And that's it. He's like, "Yeah."
Yeah, I guess you could say I'm like a film buff.
Yeah, fuck me, please.
Yeah, pretty sound film buff. I go to South by Southwest and shit. But anyway, that's all we have for Scream 3. But basically, it's all pointing towards Mark Kincaid's a killer and he's coming back. And they're trying to throw us off with Mark Evans.
Yeah.
As he said himself, there's only room for one cop. There can only be one, and it's me.
I really hope they.
And he's framing Stu.
As we get closer and with more things coming, more things coming out, or we might have to just like keep deep diving and shit. But I really hope it's something cool like this where they just actually like put an effort. I'm sure they might. I have faith that they do, but a part of me is like, what if they just get something like some bullshit fucking reveal? I'm really hoping they don't.
Yeah, I hope they don't too.
But this is cool.
Yeah. And the only thing I picked up on Scream that seemed a little weird to me this time was it's in the middle of the movie and Sydney is at school and she runs into the bathroom and there's these two fucking whores that come out of the stalls talking shit on her. And the way the blonde chick is talking, she's talking like it's a Ghostface monologue. She's talking like it's someone revealing themselves as this is their motive. She talks about how her mom's a slut. Bitch has a motive for Sydney. Almost like a Ghostface monologue, she is influenced by Ricky Lake, just like Billy was influenced by horror movies. I think Billy might have been fucking this chick. This might be Sam's mom. I know she's blonde, but just go with it. She seemed really jealous of Sydney. And she's like, maybe she's a slut. She's like a mother. And all that kind of stuff. And then talking about how she thinks it's Sydney that killed Steve and Casey. Or is she just planting ideas in people's heads? Because that's what a Ghostface does, is try to frame Sydney all the goddamn time. And she doesn't seem to give a shit. Like she's like she hates Sid. Maybe she's jealous over Billy. She could be the third killer. Maybe there's a third killer that we didn't know. That could be the one thing that we didn't know from the beginning.
Yeah.
Because this looks very...
Like with the trilogy rules.
Yeah. And she just seems to... I know it's just a dumb scene now, but now that they're playing with every movie so far, like, I just feel that might mean something more later on. Something that we didn't think was that meaningful could mean a shit ton later on, you know? And I just thought there's something with her. I don't know. We never see her again. I even looked in the credits afterwards to see if there was a name attached to her. It's not. It just says blonde cheerleader. And that's it. Yeah. So I don't know. But I felt like her whole spiel was, it hit different this time. I was like, hey, wait a minute. If a Ghostface took their fucking mask off right now and was like, you know, just like how Billy and Stu were like, oh yeah, we're going to plant this on your dad. And look at all the evidence right there. All this kind of stuff. You know, they love to brag about that kind of shit. She's almost doing that without doing it, you know, and just seems weird.
And she did, and she said a lot more than like any random side character would ever say.
She looked like she thought the shit out.
Yeah.
And homicide's such a more, something therapeutic expression. They all use big words, even though they're in high school.
And she looks 30.
Yeah, she looks older shit. Anyway, but that was the only thing I picked up from Scream that was like new to me, that kind of jumped out, that could mean something in Scream 7 that we never noticed before.
No, but like I've in a way I didn't write anything for Scream 1, but just watching it, I mean, obviously it's always fun to watch Scream. Like no matter what, even if we're doing something for something like this, just watching it is always fun. But watching Scream 3 first, knowing what Roman kind of revealed of, like, you know, he taught Billy everything he knew and, you know, tell him these things to pick up on. Now just watching Scream 1 is like, oh damn, like you kind of see it happen. It's like watching the prequel before the fucking actual movie.
Yeah.
It's actually pretty sick.
Yeah, that's why I want to do it like that. And we were going to watch 5, but basically the only thing in 5 that I think is important is, okay, once again, the Stu Macher Halter, but then at the same time, it's just getting Kyle Gallagher's, or Gallagher, whatever his fucking name,
Kyle Gallagher, yeah.
whatever his name is, finding out
Charlie's alive.
Finding out that that's Stu's nephew.
Mm-hmm.
That was the only reason I was like, there's probably more in there that we should probably take a look at, and we will.
We will eventually.
But today we're just covering the third and the first one, and yeah, I think we got pretty far. I think we sealed the deal.
Yeah, I think
and there's something up with Grace McKenna. I'm telling you, or what's her name, McKenna Grace.
McKenna Grace. She's related to like fucking Stu or Mark Kincaid, just related somehow to someone.
Yeah, they show her. You don't see her getting chased anywhere. You see everybody else.
She's wearing plaid. That plaid theory you told me.
Yeah, yep. If you know, a lot of the time, the killer is revealed at the end, and earlier in the film, they were wearing something plaid. Mm-hmm. Detective Bailey had a plaid tie. Billy, of course, had a plaid shirt. Jill had a plaid shirt. And now we're seeing a plaid skirt in here. Oh, yeah, and Richie had a plaid shirt. Mm-hmm. That's a lot.
A lot of plaid.
And they try and throw us off with the skirt. Yeah. You didn't get me with... I saw that tie in 6, and I was like, motherfucker. Motherfucker. So anyway, well, that's all we have so far. But pretty much Mark's a killer. He's coming back. He's going to frame Stu. Stu's coming back as a victim. And there's something up with McKenna Grace.
Yeah.
That's what we have.
Yeah, and deal with that shit.
And we're going to be doing a lot more of these. But thank you guys for joining us. We appreciate every single one of you. And what have you guys picked out anything?
Yeah, let us know.
Go watch, do your homework, and tell us what you find.
So we
Don't look around. Find it for yourself.
So we can take your idea.
We want to steal your ideas. Anyway, thank you guys for watching. We appreciate every single one of you. And if you have subscribed, God bless you.
Thank you.
We will never ask, but it means a lot to us, so thank you. And we will see you again on the next one. But for right now, this is Rock Hard out.
Beans, rice, and Jesus Christ. Bitches.
Toodles.
Toodles. Yeah.
Yeah.
This is goodbye.
This is goodbye.